Grief must be the engine of change for failing maternity services. The words of a Nottinghamshire MP who helped to organise a major cross-party parliamentary debate on baby loss. Harmed families from Nottingham were in the House of Commons public gallery to hear Michelle Welsh help launch the 3-hour discussion, which ended with commitments from the Health Secretary at around midnight. Well, our health correspondent Bob Stissons, he watched the proceedings, powerful speeches and testimony, which came from all sides of the House.
Yes, and 10 East Midlands MPs contributed to what was called the baby loss debate in the House of Commons, taking place against the backdrop of the biggest ever review into NHS maternity failings, led by senior midwife Donna Ockenden. She's examining nearly 2,500 cases of deaths and injuries to babies and mothers stretching across years at Nottingham's 2 NHS hospitals. That, of course, is the Queen's Medical Centre and the City Hospital, where there are both maternity units. They're not the only ones being reviewed right now. The government ordered a rapid review involving 14 trusts earlier this year, and that includes Leicester.
For baby Harriet, baby Teddy, baby Junior, Amaya, baby Winter.
A list that went on and on. Dead and injured babies. Opening the debate, Nottinghamshire's Michelle Welsh said it was in their memory she was campaigning for change to improve maternity safety.
If someone makes a mistake again and again and again and again, as we have seen in Nottinghamshire, and families have to fight for the truth, where mothers leave a hospital and made to think it is their fault, then there has to be accountability.
Yeah. In the public gallery, Ryan, an 18-year-old from Long Eaton, brain damaged at the start of his life because of maternity failings in Nottingham. His MP, one of 10 from the East Midlands, who contributed to the debate.
The failures of Nottingham University Hospitals Trust should have been learned long ago, but they weren't. Those responsible have not yet been held accountable. Ryan should have had the chance to have enjoyed a happy, healthy childhood.
Across the House, recognition maternity safety just isn't where it needs to be, and frustration that so many grieving families have had to fight.
They've been institutionally gaslit and lied to, robbed of so much, and are still having to fight for their children.
We have seen progress made, but it is sadly not enough, and as my right honourable friend mentioned, that progress has apparently plateaued since the pandemic, and we still see terrible inequality of outcomes.
The rates of baby deaths remain too high, and we know that they are disproportionately high among families from African, Caribbean and Asian families, and families from deprived backgrounds.
There was talk not just of the NHS failures, but regulators letting down families too.
Regulation must be overhauled and accountability must improve. The mothers and fathers who have come forward in Gedling and Nottinghamshire have shown extraordinary dignity.
The debate coincides with Baby Loss Awareness Week. The other day, families lit nearly 2,500 lights, one for each of the cases in the Nottingham Maternity Review. The findings of that due next year.
Rob's with me now. I mean, as we said, it ended around midnight. You were there too, as indeed was the Health Secretary, and it ended at midnight with a pledge from him. Yeah,
I was watching remotely, burning the midnight oil, and Wes Streeting was on last, and he accepted that some of the families in the public gallery are not necessarily totally on side, to put it mildly, with this review that he's ordered. But he said he gave them his word, a promise, that it's not going to be like other reports that have just ended up on a shelf. The recommendations, essential actions not fully implemented. He promised it will be different this time. Let's hear him.
I just want to conclude by assuring them and assuring this House of my personal commitment to make sure this isn't the case, not just through leading the task force that will implement the recommendations myself, but to give a promise to this House and to those families, in the spirit set out by my honourable friend, the member for Sherwood Forest, that grief must be the engine of change, and the stories I have heard from those families firsthand will be the steel in my spine to deliver the change they need.
He has really strong words. He really seems to believe it, but, you know, they've been promised change. Do you think they're actually going to get it this time?
Well, in Wes Streeting's own words, he said last night, you know, if he's learnt one thing, Anne, from families, it's they don't really want more words. What they want is action and justice, and he said he will pledge to deliver that. They will hold him to that, that's for sure.
Because the other thing they really want as well is a specific kind of public inquiry.
Yes, now let's be clear about this. The Donna Ockenden review into maternity failings in Nottingham started in 2022, reports next year. Its official status is what's called a non-statutory public inquiry. What does that mean? It means she does not have the power to force people to give evidence. She can ask them to come along, but she doesn't have that power. What the families, many of them in Nottingham, want is a statutory public inquiry, sometimes called a judge-led public inquiry, where there would be the powers to summons people to give evidence. It's only with that that they say the truth will get closer to it.
Yeah, and people will be held to account. Well, listen, Rob, thank you very much indeed for that. Thank you.